Hi all. Today we're going to talk about different types of hauntings. In my view, remember this is all my perception, we have residual, which is also called recorded or imprinted hauntings. We have intelligent or interactive hauntings. And there's a third one that we'll touch on in just a minute. So let's start with the residual, imprinted, or recorded. These are hauntings of a repetitive action or a very strong traumatic action where the environment recorded it. So they cannot interact with you because it's just a recording. Another place you can find a lot of recorded or imprinted or residual hauntings is areas over running water, or areas that have a lot of quartz and limestone concentration on the ground. These are all good things to record energetic events. So one example would be seeing somebody walk down the hall and turn into a wall where there's no door, and they're dressed in period clothing. And this can be an action that you see over and over where they go down the hall and turn into the wall. Or it can be once a year or once every 6 months. It is a memory of an action that happened a long time ago. And so for some reason the environment recorded this, and it's just like recording on your phone. You know, you're looking at me, but I am not touchable. I am not in your physical presence right now. It's the same way with residual or recorded hauntings. The second type is the intelligent or interactive. These are the earthbounds. These are the ones that are consciously aware of being in our environment. They are the ones that can be, if need be, removed from a place. They're the ones that ghost investigators get recordings of voices, answering questions. These are the interactive or intelligent hauntings. These are beings who are consciously aware that they're in that environment. And they're consciously aware of you trying to reach out and communicate with them in that environment. That is the most typical type of haunting. And since we're on this topic, the being that's haunting, intelligent haunting a place, let's say a home, doesn't have to have necessarily a connection to that home. They don't have to have a connection to that neighborhood. They don't have to have a connection to that city. They were just drawn to the house. For whatever reason, it could have been they were drawn to somebody that used to live there. They could be drawn by somebody that is living there. Mediums, people with mediumistic abilities seem to draw the deceased like moths to a flame or moths to a light. So just because they're in that space doesn't mean that's where they came from. That's where they passed over. That means nothing. On the other hand, you can also have beings who used to own the property don't want to leave. Sometimes they don't want you there. These are the interactive ones. The third type, in my view, is time or dimensional slips. So let's say you're doing a ghost investigation and you're talking to somebody as though you and I are talking right now, but you can't see them. You can hear them on the recorder. They're asking you, who are you? Why are you here? These are the ones where you are communicating with somebody from a different time while that somebody's still alive. And they're communicating with you in the future while they're still alive. So this is when, to me, when two timelines cross over, connect, and you are talking to somebody that's still alive in their timeline, and they're talking to you in your timeline. So one example was there was a ghost show many years ago where they were investigating a hotel, and this hotel used to have a woman who was American but became a princess, And she would stay in this hotel a lot. And so these investigators were walking through, excuse me, walking through, and they were talking to this being. But as I'm watching the show, I'm understanding that she's alive when she's talking to them, and they're alive while they're talking to her. So this is where the time slip happened, where the two times overlapped. And she thought she was talking to ghosts, and they thought they were talking to a ghost. In reality, they were both alive in their own timeline, and the timeline's just connected for some reason. Pretty cool, right? So those are the three types, in my view, of hauntings. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.